Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Samastajana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, everybody. So we have started this chapter 11, which starts with a request by Arjun. So Arjun has said that if you think that I am qualified, I would like to see, I have heard how to see the one in the many in chapter 10, and now I would like to see the many in the one. That is what he's requesting. So Bhagwan said, of course, he was Bhagwan's favorite anyways, and the same. So in 7, he said, Bhagwan says, O Gudakesha, one who has conquered sleep, or a curly-haired one. Both meanings apply. So in this body, the whole universe centered in me, I will show you. And he says, you will see the moving as well as the unmoving. Okay. So the idea is, if there is a mirror is only 1 millimeter thick. It's not that this thing. But if you look inside the mirror, the reflection, you can see the reflection. You can see the reflection of a 5-kilometer road or 10 kilometers. You can see that. Okay. You can also see mountains, which are inanimate objects. You can see trees. You can see a river flowing. You can see an old man walking with a young child. So age, time. So idea is that in the mirror, you can see distance, so space. You can see time difference, like old man and the young child walking hand in hand. You can see mountains, inanimate objects, animate objects, everything. And yet the mirror is not affected by any one of those things. Like the flowing river is not making the mirror wet. The inanimate objects, the time, space. So basically in the mirror, which is not affected by what is getting reflected, it is showing things beyond time and space, the mirror. And that is what is the idea here, where he shows his Virat Rupa. He shows everything is seen, everything is experienced by Arjun, but that whatever is being seen is not affecting the Lord. Like whatever the reflection is, it's not affecting the mirror that way. So in that he sees beyond time. Okay, so we'll see that now. So that is what we did read the verse, right, last time. So he says, Natu mam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshusha. Swa, your own eyes, means with these fleshy eyes, I can show you, but with the fleshy eyes, you cannot see. You cannot see. Even though I can show you, I am, all powerful. I can show you, but you cannot see. And therefore, divyam dadami te chakshuhu. That is the keywords here. That I will dadami. I will give you what? Divya chakshu. Divine eyes. Okay. I will give you divine eyes. Pashyame yogam aishwaram. So pashyame, my pasha see, yogam, yoga as well as Aishwarya. Now we have seen Yoga Sthiti and Aishwarya Sthiti, and in chapter 7, Bhagwan described himself as Sutre Manigana Iva. So I told you the Sutra is yoga and the gems are Aishwarya. And he's in chapter 10, we saw all the Aishwarya, his manifestations, and yoga. So Aishwarya is manifestation and Yoga Sthiti is unmanifestation. Okay, what is not seen. Now, what is this divine eyes? So the divine eyes must not be taken as the third eye, like a fleshy eye, a third weird biological structure on the forehead. It is an understanding. Divine eyes is an understanding, and there are many connotations to it. One of the first connotations here, when Bhagavan says, with your own eyes you cannot see, what Bhagavan is meaning that with your own effort, you cannot get moksha, you cannot get liberation. That's the first connotation, that you might try, but you cannot get liberation unless my grace is there. So when he says Swachakshusha, by your it is eyes, but the meaning, one of the meanings is that we need Bhagwan's grace for getting liberation. Unless he wills it, we have seen in Kenopanishad that even a blade of grass doesn't move without his permission. So how can we get liberation without his permission? Okay, now to have that understanding is divine chakshu. One connotation, that have the understanding that with my own effort, even if I want to see, like here, even if I want to see his Virat Roop, I cannot see unless he wills it. That's why he says, so a chakshusha you cannot see, but I will give you, so my grace has to be there. Now we have seen in Vivek Chunamani, we saw Sattva and Shuddha Sattva, what Bhagavan Shankara. So up to Sattva, reaching Sattva is our self-effort. Their self-effort is required. But beyond that, grace is required. So understanding that, the divine eyes should be understood as an understanding. It is a vision, not a physical vision, objective vision, but it is an understanding of the mind. First thing is that just by my efforts, I cannot get liberation. Only I want to see the Virat Roop, I cannot unless God wills it, Bhagwan wills it. Okay, now divine vision is the vision or understanding where I see yoga and Aishwarya at the same time. Think about it. See, when I'm looking at a pearl necklace, I only see the pearls. I don't see the sutra. I don't see the thread. Or if I'm watching a movie, I do not see the screen at the same time when the movie is playing. But divine vision is that which will show you the thread as well as the gems at the same time. So that's why it is an understanding, not a vision, not a physical vision for sure. It's an experience. It is an understanding in the mind. Or you see the movie as well as at the same time you see the substratum, which is the screen. So absence and presence seen at the same time is divine vision. Both absence simultaneously, when you can see, that becomes divine vision. So the next connotation is, like I told you, in the mirror, where the difference. Right now, we see differences. We see difference in time, space, and objects. That is what our vision is. Okay. But to not see those at the same time, not see any differences in time, like the reflection in the mirror. The mirror is not affected. So to see no differences on account of space, time, and objects is divine vision. And what that means is, that means you are transcending time. That's why you can see the past, present, and future. In the Virat Rupa, this darshan that Bhagwan gives, he will see the past. Arjun will experience the past. He will see the present. He will see the future. Because Bhagwan shows him the end of the war. In this thing, it will come now. The description will come where he sees Karna is dead. Everybody, all the people on the other side are dead. And he sees that actually. So Bhagwan shows him the end. And that is another meaning of that, is to tell Arjun that, Arjun, I have predetermined the result of the war. It is on me. You are only an instrument. Because you see, Arjun was saying, I will kill, I will do this, I will do that. That's where this Bhagwan is giving him the message. That this is, I'm showing you, it's all done. Everything is done. You just take the credit. You just be an instrument. That is a thing for us, so that we should know that, I did this, I will do that. No. Without Bhagwan's grace, nothing can happen. Okay, if you take, apparently there was somebody who asked Gurudev, it seems, challenged or talked to Gurudev and said, these brahmacharis, from Sandipani, when you graduate, you get into yellow and you're a brahmachari. And the brahmacharis are expected to go out and do pravachan and prachar work. So Gurudev was asked, these brahmacharis have not realized Brahman. So how can they talk about Brahman? So Gurudev said to him that, no, I send them out to talk about Brahman so that they can realize that only talking is not going to give them Brahman. It's to, explain to others. It is for their own self. They must realize that by my effort alone, we all must realize that by my effort alone, I cannot get any result. Forget liberation. Any result cannot come by my effort. That's what we saw in Updesha. Kartu adneya prapyate phalam. This is what Bhagavan is indicating here by saying, Divyam dadami me te chakshuhu. I will give you that divine vision by which you will understand this. So this understanding is this thing. So if you take Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, there is, the eightfold. So there is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana. Up to Dhyana is self-effort. That we have to put in. So because and then from Dhyana to Samadhi is grace. So just to understand that my limitation is up to Dhyana, I should take myself up to Dhyana, is divine vision. That is the divine vision that we must have. So what happens is people say that, okay, if liberation is not possible without grace, or if result is not coming without grace, I won't put in any self-effort. If you don't put in the self-effort, the grace will never come. Now here, what Arjun has done, he has expressed his desire to see. That is his effort. So far up to 10, he has understood correctly whatever Bhagavan said. There's correct understanding in his mind. And now he has made a request. So that indicates his desire, his wanting, his effort. Like, I have understood you very clearly up to now. And now I want to actually experience it. Now I want to see it. So that effort he has put in. So don't think that he never put in any effort. He just asked and Bhagavan, no, it is not like that. So effort is very essential, very, very essential. Okay. If we were to go through karma yoga, then karma yoga is our effort. Purification of mind is our effort. And then you wait for the knowledge to rise. Then it is grace. So then you leave it. It's like, see, eating is in our hands. What I eat is in my hands. But how it is digested and how it will affect my body is not in my hands. So what is in my control, I must control. I must do. I must eat the right things. Then if I eat the right things, then there won't be any problems in the body. There won't be any digestive issues. There won't be any kind of issues. So what I have control on, I must do. I have control on my own efforts. It is my choice that I do want to purify the mind. I do want to do this. I do want to do that. Then what happens is that grace will come. Okay, that is another connotation. So there is, okay. Another thing is, this divine vision is also a reversal of my present vision. So what is my present vision? What do I think? I think I am the BMI. That's number one. I think that I am a soul inside the body. Right? There is a soul inside my body. That is this is my present vision. I see, when I look out into the world, I see only differences. Now, the reversal of this vision will be what? What will be the reverse? I am not the BMI. That's reversal. Now, I am BMI. That is divine vision. That is the understanding that, no, I'm not the body. I am not only in this body, but I am in all bodies. I, as the Supreme Self, am in all the bodies. So there is only oneness even in spite of the differences, that oneness is seen, and that is divine vision. When I see, like I told you in chapter 5, Bhagavan said, the realized master sees a Brahmin, a cow, elephant, horse, dog and dog eater, some other, he sees them as equals. That is divine vision. Seeing, even though the perception is of duality, the understanding is of oneness. Perception and understanding are two different things. See, I perceive the sun rising, and then I also tell other people, oh, go see the sun. That is perception. As an adult, a child will think the sun is moving. So perception and understanding is same. He perceives the sun rising up in the horizon. Child is thinking, yeah, the sun is moving. But as I grow up and as I understand, things, then my perception is that the sun is rising, but the sun never moves. Understanding is sun never moves. That understanding is divine vision. It is an understanding. Understand these things. That is what Bhagavan means. And so right in the beginning, he gives that, he tells him that you cannot do it on your own. So liberation, you cannot do on your own. The result of action also is not on your own. That you did and you will get the result that is desired, that you wanted. That also is not on your own. So that understanding, when it comes, and then in that perception, no matter what my perception is, when I try to see the oneness, and if I can actually see it, then I have divine eyes. That's how this divine eyes should be understood. Okay? Reversal of vision. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of explanation that I have here. But do you get the picture? Does everybody understand? Okay. So any questions on this? And Sanjay, see, this Virat Roop was seen by Sanjay because he already had the divine vision, because Bhagavan Ved Vyas gave those to him, right? He was sitting in the palace and he could see whatever was happening on Kurukshetra. So he already had that. And Arjun was given on the battlefield by Bhagavan, this Divya Chakshu. And so only these two saw it, and probably Hanumanji saw it as well, because he was sitting on the flag there and he probably had. Yes, Prince.
Does that mean that because Sanjaya had the divine eyes, he also could see the past, present, and future
Yeah.
of the war as well?
He saw it in the Virat Roop, no? In the
So
Virat
he
Roop,
must.
Bhagavan showed him, right?
I just think it's interesting. He's narrating to Dasharath, but he already knows the end too, right?
Yeah, not Dashrath, Dhritarashtra.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Dhritarashtra. Yeah. He's in the 18th chapter. He says, Dhritarashtra asks him, "What do you think? What do you think? The war. How is the war going to end?" Dhritarashtra never even had fleshy eyes. Where he will get divine eyes? And Bhagavan Ved Vyas had asked him, told him, "I will give you. You can see." He refused. He has refused. In Mahabharata, it comes. Bhagavan Ved Vyas says, I will give you the divine eyes. You can watch what is happening with your sons and Pandavas, etc. He says, no, give it to Sanjay. Sanjay will tell me. So there was Sanjay got the chance to listen to the Gita and everything. And then in the end, then Sanjay says, I think if Bhagwan is on that side, probably that side is going to win. Probably, but that is all. Anyway, so seeing the one in many is divine vision. Understanding that my effort alone cannot give me liberation, divine vision. Understanding that even though my effort alone will not give me liberation, I have to put in effort. That understanding also has to be there. I must make an effort to purify my mind. I must make an effort to calm my mind down. I must do whatever it is required. That I must. There is certain musts that have to be done later. That's why it is said, you do your best and leave the rest. When I understand this principle, I have invoked my divine vision. It's an invocation of the understanding, the clear cut understanding. And when I understand that I am not only in this body, I am not the body, when I become firmly established in that, so when I get established, then whatever happens to the body, not that I don't treat the body, but I don't get that upset, because people think it's happening to me. It's not happening to me. That is divine vision. It's not happening to me. It is happening to my body, and my body is something totally different than me. So that sort of understanding. Okay. And also for intellect, going beyond cause and effect, understand, because intellect, at the level of the intellect, we are always looking for cause and effect. Oh, this happened. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? So giving up this asking why this, why that, that is divine vision. Why did they do this? See, there was a question, so that you had the question, why did they turn the lamp? Don't get entangled in those things. Don't get entangled. It's okay. They did. I don't know why they did it, because I don't know. We never do these things. But understand that even no matter where the lamp is turned, the flame is shedding light all around, right? So what does it matter that way? Okay. So that is what, and so Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. So he's going to show Yoga Sthiti and Aishwarya Sthiti at the same time. So absence and presence seen at the same time. All right. Now, Sanjaya Vacha Eva Muktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeshwaro Harihi Darshayamasa Parthaya Paramam Rupam Aishwaram. Sanjay said, having thus spoken, O king, the great lord of yoga, Hari, showed to Partha his supreme form as the Lord. Now, like I said, Sanjay is telling this to a person who doesn't even have regular eyes. What is he going to understand? But, that's Sanjay's job. He has been assigned to describe what was happening or what had happened already, because I told, if you remember in the first chapter, we told you that this is happening on the 10th day of the war. This dialogue is actually happening. It happened on the first day, but it was told on the 10th day of the war. When Bhishma fell, that is when Dhritarashtra got worried. Until then, he was not worried. He knew, if Bhishma is on my side, I'm going to win. That was his firm conviction. But on the 10th day, when Bhishma Pitama fell, he got worried, and he asked Sanjay, what exactly happened that, these tables are now turned. So that's why this is happening, but he's giving. Okay. That's basically that one. He says, only thing is, like, to a blind person to explain this thing. But anywho, he's explaining. 10. Aneka Vakranayanam Anekad Adbhut Darshanam Aneka Divyabharanam Divyanekodyatayudham. Aneka, with numerous mouths and eyes, with numerous wonderful sights, with numerous divine ornaments, with numerous divine weapons, uplifted, such a form he showed. We'll read the next verse as well. Divyam Divyamalambaradharam Divyagandhanulepanam Sarvascharyamayam Devam Anantam Vishwatomukham. Wearing divine garlands, necklaces, and apparel, anointed with divine unguents, the all-wonderful, resplendent, endless, facing all sides. Now this, with Aneka Vakra, Aneka, with numerous mouths and eyes, please understand that it is not like a freaky thing where he sees. I told you, divine eyes is seeing the one and the many at the same time. So what is the understanding in Arjun's mind, because he has now got the divine vision, that behind all the mouths, there is only one Bhagwan. It is not that he's saying so many mouths and so many hands and so many ornaments. It is not to be understood like that, because I told you divine vision is an understanding. So when he says Aneka Vastra, Aneka Abhushana, Anek, he's saying, and all divine, Divya, it means that Arjun is seeing the divinity, and so is Sanjay, but now he's explaining to Dhritarashtra, who is not going to understand that part. Dhritarashtra is not going to understand that oneness is being recognized, that he doesn't recognize, that he doesn't have the capacity, the mental capacity to understand that. But Arjun does, because he has heard so Bhagwan speaking so far, and Bhagwan himself has granted him that Divya Chakshu. So what is meant is, behind all the mouth, behind everything, behind this universe, there is only that one truth. That's what he said, right? In 10, in the many you see the one. Now in the one, he's seeing the many mouths, many hands, many ornaments, many this thing, many that thing, many that, all this many, multiple things. The plurality of this entire world, he's seeing in that one reality. That is what divine Chakshu is, okay? Which Sanjay probably understood, but not Dhritarashtra. All right, okay? There's not much like this thing. Okay. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhavedyuga Paduthita Yadi Bhasa Drishi Sasyat Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to blaze out at once simultaneously in the sky, that would be like the splendor of that mighty being, great soul. So now this is being described to a person who has never seen the sun also. He was blind since birth. What he will understand? Think about it. One who has seen the sun, we can imagine. We can only imagine, because we have seen only one sun. And lucky if we grew up in India, then we saw the bright sun also. Those who grew up here, I don't think they even saw ever a bright sun. Now, so Sanjay is describing that 1,000 suns simultaneously, if they were shining at their full brightness, that is how bright this Virat Roop is now being seen. So there is a perception and there is an understanding, like I told you. Perception is there, like sky is very, very blue, but understanding is there is no sky. Okay, so this is what is being brightest, because that's why we have the verse Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam, like Bhagwan, where no light can illumine Bhagwan, because Bhagwan is the source of that light. So there is no light in this world. The sun can illumine the entire world, but the sun cannot illumine its own source, and the source is Bhagwan. All right. That is divine Chakshu. Another name for that is Jnana Drishti. Knowledge. What is your knowledge telling you? You're seeing this, you're seeing the difference, but what is it? What is your knowledge telling you? You are seeing that you are, the sun is rising or the sun is setting, but your knowledge, what that tells you, that is what it is. Now, Sanjay, because you see, he is completely on the side of the Pandavas. He is a great fan, devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. He loves the Pandavas. So when you are talking about somebody whom you love, then you're going to even a little bit exaggerate also. But that's what it is. Tatraikastham jagat krishnam pravibhaktamanekadha appashya deva devasya sharire pandavastada. There, in the body of the god of gods, Pandava, son of Pandu, then saw the whole universe resting in one with its many groups. So now this Virat Roop Bhagwan has taken, and in that now Arjun is seeing everything at the same time. Okay, so he's seeing the multitude in one. That is what he asked. He asked, I want to see that multitude in the one, right? First, it was one in the multitude. Remember, 10 was one in multitude. Now it's reversal, multitude in one. And that is what divine vision is all about. Now, Tata savismaya vishto rishtaroma dhananjayah pranamya shirasa devam kritanjalari bhashata. Then he, Dhananjaya, Arjuna, filled with wonder, with his hair standing on end, bowed down his head to the god and spoke with joined palms. Dhananjaya, one name of Arjuna, because he was the one who was responsible for bringing in the maximum wealth to the Pandavas, because he was the one that always went on the war, and then when the king surrendered, then that kingdom merged with, or they became allies of the Pandavas, and so they would that time pay. So that's why one of his names is Dhananjaya. That is what Sanjay is using. Filled with one. Can you imagine if somebody like that we see in front of, we would, even Niagara Falls, we see, we go, like, simple Niagara Falls or Iguazu Falls, we see. I mean, I saw Niagara and my mouth fell open because I'd not seen anything like that before. Then I went to Iguazu Falls, and then oh God, Niagara Falls is nothing. This is even bigger. So now he's seeing the biggest that there can ever be. So obviously he is like totally in wonderment. Arjuna Vacha. This is Pashyami devanstava deva dehe sarvanstata bhuta vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rishincha sarvanurangasha divyan. Arjuna said, I see all the gods, O God, in your body, and also hosts of various classes of beings, Brahma, the Lord, seated on the lotus, all the rishis and celestial serpents. So note one thing, now the meter has changed. So most of the verses, this is the one chapter where maximum verses are in the other meter. There are only 2 meters. In Bhagavad Gita, there are only Anushtup and Trishtup. So this is Anushtup. So this is, now meter has changed, indicating wonder on Arjuna's part. Even in chapter 2, he had changed the meter when he was like really shaken up. But here also the same thing is happening. So now what Bhagavan is showing him first is a very, very beautiful rupa, because he's seeing all the gods. Now Bhagavan is going to show him even worst. But right now he changes. Bhagavan changes. So right now he's seeing, I see all the gods. So deities, Brahma, Indra, Vishnu, all the celestials, so Gandharvas, Kinnaras, all the lokas that we have above, I see all those hosts of various classes. Brahma, the Lord, seated on the lotus. Lotus is very important in Vedanta. We see all our deities standing on the lotus. Lotus indicates purity. Lotus also indicates that it grows in the dirt, but it is never touched by the dirt. Like water, it grows in the water, but the water never touches its leaves or petals. And the indication is that we also are in this world which is full of dirt, but we should not let the world touch us. That is the implication of lotus. I mean, some of you have heard this before, but if you haven't heard, or if you don't remember, that is why lotus is important. If you see Lakshmi Devi standing on lotus, everybody's standing on lotus only. And that is the point of that lotus. And lotus is mentioned even in chapter 5. Before also it has been mentioned. Bhagavan says that you should remain untouched like the lotus. The lotus remains untouched by the water. That way you should remain untouched by the world. And what is meant by untouched, that you are in the world. Untouched means the world should not affect you. That is the meaning of untouched. Because you might wonder, what does it mean untouched? What do you mean untouched? Means right now the world is touching us, right? It pokes us, then I get happy. It pokes us, then I get sad. Then I get jealous. Then I get this. So every time we come in contact with the world, or the world contacts us, there is some sort of reaction that we have. That should not be there. And that is what is meant by untouched. And that is why. So he says, I see all the gods. So he's very happy. To see gods it's really nice. So he's very happy. So that's what he says. Celestial serpent. So Sheshanag. Celestial serpent is who? The Sheshanag. Okay. So he's happy with this. अनेकबाहूदरवक्रनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतोऽनन्तरूपं नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिं पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूप. I see thee of boundless form on every side with manifold arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes. Neither the end, nor the middle, nor also the beginning do I see, O Lord of the universe, O cosmic form. So once again, when it says manifold arms, stomachs, and mouths and eyes, the understanding is that behind all the mouths, behind all the arms, behind all everything, there is only that one. He had asked to see that one behind the multitude. That is what Bhagavan is showing him. Please understand. So it's not like, don't think it's like freaky, like so many stomachs he saw, so many. No. This Divya Drishti, I told you, is an understand. So he understands that behind every form, behind every stomach, behind every arm, behind every eye, every nose, every behind everything, there is only that one reality. This is what is meant here. And neither the end nor the middle nor also the beginning do I see, indicating I also see the Nirakar Nirguna pure consciousness. See, imagine the potency of that Divya Chakshu. So I understand that is the experience for realized master. You know, in meditation, when we say that, this person, he realized the self to be the self in all, he realized his oneness with Brahman, that is what it is. Na anta, na madhya, na puna. There is no beginning, there is no middle, there is no end. And that is Nirgun Nirakar. Because if anything has a beginning, a middle, and an end, it is a form. It's a form. So I say begin here at the head, and then in the middle I'm there, and then I end at the feet. That's a form. That's a form. So if I don't see the beginning, middle, and end, it is not a form. It is formless. And this is what Bhagavan told him. You see, if you have faith, okay, chapter 10 only Bhagavan told him, don't worry about anything. Just remember that beginning of everything is because of me, middle is me, and end is me alone. So for the one who is a complete devotee, that is enough. That is enough. He'll say, okay, Bhagavan said, beginning Bhagavan, middle Bhagavan, end Bhagavan. But we are half-baked. Like Arjun. We don't have complete faith. We don't have the complete intelligence also to understand. Oh, I want to see the one in the... Okay, see that also. Because Bhagavan is all powerful. You want to see that? I will give you that because you're my favorite. So if we put in effort, Bhagavan will show us. But why even put in effort? Sometimes I feel, just have complete faith. Finish. Bhagavan will take care of you. So this is what he's saying, okay? Now that was Sagun Nira, now it's going to be Sagun Saka. Now he sees. Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptimantam Pashyami Tvam Duniriksham Pashyami Tvam Duniriksham Samantat Diptanalarka Dyuti Aprameyam. I see thee with crown, club, and discus. So what is he seeing now? Vishnu, who is with crown, club, and discus. Discus is so he's seeing the roop of Vishnu, Bhagavan Vishnu. So now he's seeing Sagun Sakar, right? When he sees a form, I see you as holding the discus, etc. A mass of radiance shining everywhere. So it's awareness, full awareness. Very hard to look at because it's so bright, so it's very hard. All round blazing like burning fire and sun and incomprehensible. So the form, he's seeing Sagun Sakar, he saw Nirgun Nirakar because no beginning, no end, no middle, no end. Now he's seeing beginning, middle, and end because he's seeing a form. So he's seeing Sagun Sakar, okay? Vishnu, Ishvara. He's seeing Ishvara has no form, but he's seeing a form now. Now, next, these verses will go quick. Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam tvamasya vishwasya param nidhanam Tvamavyaya Shashvata Dharma Gopta Sanatanastvam Purusho Matomi. You are the imperishable, the supreme being, worthy to be known. You are the great treasure house of this universe. You are the imperishable protector of the eternal Dharma. In my opinion, you are the ancient Purusha. So, this is what now he understood. He realized, he recognized. What did he recognize? Tvam Aksharam, you are Akshara. Akshara, perishing. Akshara, imperishable. We have heard these words for as a description of pure consciousness in all Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita also. So, from the absolute standpoint, this is standpoint of the absolute. From the absolute standpoint, you are imperishable. Why? Because when you come to a lower standpoint, even Ishvara, perishable in the sense Ishvara merges at Pralaya. But when it said Akshara, when it says imperishable, see, this imperishable, you have to see, Ishvara, it's to even come lower, as compared to an ant, the ant feels that the elephant is imperishable. You know why? Because ant is only 90 days and elephant is probably living 90 years or 100 years. So from an ant perspective, the elephant is imperishable. So Ishvara also from our perspective, from Jiva perspective, Ishvara is imperishable. But you have to remember that Ishvara also merges during Pralaya. So when this Akshara is used, word Akshara, it is not from a relative standpoint, it is from that other standpoint, from the absolute standpoint. So this standpoint is from the absolute. So that also he's seeing. See, he's seeing everything now. Because he said, he asked for it, Bhagavan said, I will give you the divine vision. He says that I totally recognize the fact that you are the imperishable one, Tvam Veditavyam, the supreme Veditavyam, the one that is to be known. That's what Upanishad says. That's what he'll say in chapter 15. The only one thing that is worthy of knowing is me. Means Bhagwan, not me. Bhagwan. You are the only one that is, there's nothing. Because, why? Okay, so let's just pause here for a minute. Why is it that only him is, he's the most worthy? Because knowing him, you come to know everything. There nothing else remains to be known. That is the reason he says you are the only thing, but we want to know this and we want to know that, and there why? Give up the why, have faith, and then try to know him. Veditamya. Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. Param, supreme. You are the supreme abode. Means you are the reason why this universe is even moving, breathing. Even a blade of grass is moving only because of your support. Otherwise, it cannot move. So imagine. This is this word. Param, he's understood all this. That's why at the end, when people, some say, did he realize? He realized. In the last chapter, Arjun realized. He realized. Here only that's what he's saying. I understand this. Vishwasya Param, supreme. Where supreme, two connotations. Param, I have told you this before also. Where there is nothing beyond that, and it's a point of no return. Those are two connotations of supreme. Param Nidhanam, you are the supreme abode. Means once I reach your abode, there is no more going anywhere, and there is definitely not any coming back. We'll say in chapter 15. Nirmana Moha Jita Adhyatmanita Vinivarta Kama Na Nivartante Bhuya, he says. Reaching me, having reached me, there is no return for you. And this is what is meant by Param Nidhanam, supreme abode. Once I reach there, nothing. Tvam Avyayaha. Vyaya, destruction, decay. Again, same thing as Akshara. So there is, you are no destruction universe. You are the imperishable. Shashvata Dharma Gopta protector. Dharma, righteousness, where we saw in chapter 4, Yada hi dharmasya glanir. So when dharma doesn't decline, but when the faith of people starts declining in righteous values, Bhagwan comes and he restores the faith. That is what is meant by protecting dharma, means protecting, you are the protector of the faith in the minds of people in dharma. You're the protector. You're the supreme abode. Sanatanam, ancient, ancient. Tvam Purusho Mato Me, in my opinion, now I understand that this is what you really are. So, from the absolute standpoint, he's saying you are Aksharam, imperishable. You are the only one that should be known. I understand, because once I know you, I come to know all these things in the universe. Vishwasya Param, Vishwas, for the world, for all of us, you are the final abode. And final abode also means the final support. That you are the one that is supporting the good and the bad, joy and sorrow, all the pairs of opposites. Everything in this world is being supported by you and you alone. Param Nidhanam. Okay, supreme abode. Avyayaha, imperishable again, and Avya means the protector. You're imperishable, so you will always be there to protect dharma. See, when we depend on some person for support or for help, whatever, that person may or may not be there when you need help. One day he might be there, but some other day he may not be there. That's why we see Mirabai had one bhajan. She said, why should I marry a mortal who will make me a widow? I may as well marry Bhagwan, who can never make me a widow. I will never become a widow. That's why, and she in her own life, her husband died after 5 years of their marriage. He died of natural causes. There was nothing wrong or anything. And then she went and she said, that's it. Right? So this is what he's saying. Shashvata Dharma Gupta means as long as you're there and you're imperishable, you're never going to end. This dharma, you will protect dharma, means you will protect the faith in the minds of the people. Okay? Dharma means dharma doesn't need protection. Dharma is there. Sanatana, ancient. So ancient yet new. See, we have also heard the word Purana in chapter 2. Purana. Pura iti nava. Pura api nava. Pura api nava is the break. Pura means old and yet new. And the example is, see, this moment in time, this one moment in time is ancient for me. Why? Because it has been available to me since my birth. If for intellectual understanding of the word Purana, this example is good. What do you mean old yet new? Because Pura api navi, old yet new, that is Purana. So what do you mean old yet new? So the moment, any given moment of time has been available to me from my birth, so it is old. And it is available to me right now, so it's new. That is what is meant by Purana. So he has been there since ever, ancient times. But every moment, moment to moment, he is there. So he is new. So Pura api nava. That's what Purana, that's what ancient means. Ancient shouldn't be taken like senior citizens, ancient, he's old, he's senior citizen. Now the politically correct word is senior. He's a senior citizen, so not that way, ancient, because Bhagwan is not becoming old at all, ever. Okay. So, Matome, in my opinion, he's telling Bhagwan. Next. Anadimadhyantamananta viryam ananta bahum shashi surya netram pashyami tvam dipta hutashavakram swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam. I see you without beginning, middle, or end, infinite in power, of endless arms, the sun and the moon being your eyes, the burning fire your mouth, heating the whole universe with your radiance. I see you must be understood as I understand you as. That is, see, you must interpret it as I understand you as. As what? Not having a beginning, middle, and end. So you are endless, you're beginningless, you're endless. So you're imperishable, you are beyond time. That is one indication you're beyond time, because only whatever is in time has a beginning, middle, and end. What is beyond time does not have these three. Infinite in power. Your power is infinite because you are infinite. So your power is infinite. Endless arms should be understood as behind all the arms is your power. In chapter 7, he said, Balam Balavata Masmi. I am the strength behind the strong. I am the intelligence in the intellect. So that was the yoga sthiti that he explained. Now he's seeing it. He's seeing the yoga and he's seeing the Aishwarya also. He's seeing all the arms. He's seeing the power behind those arms also. He's seeing both here. Endless arm. The sun and moon being your eyes. You know, in Purush Sukta, Purush Sukta, the description of the universal person, the sun and moon is described as his eyes in the thing. So that is what he's saying. The sun and the moon being your eyes. The burning fire. That's why fire is the deity of speech. You study that in Tattva Bodh, right? Fire is the deity of speech. So he says fire, because it's a fiery speech. This person has a fiery speech, right? We talk like Gurudev is described like that, right? Speech was very fiery. You know how now we saw the Yajna, like he would just fire off his ideas. So that's why. So burning fire, heating the whole universe with your radiance. Now think about it like this. So if there was fire, actual fire, everything around him would have gotten burnt, right? Nothing like that happened, right? So that's why you have to understand that it is an experience that Arjun is having. So that experience which is having is experience doesn't burn anybody else. Otherwise, now literally, if you take this verse, fire coming out means Arjun would have been the first one to get burnt. The fire is coming out, he's standing in front of Arjun. Nothing like that happened, right? So the sun is sun and moon. Sun is the deity of the eyes. Moon is the deity of the mind. So indicating that all these states are in you, are because of you, and you are beyond these states. Sun, eyes, so waking state. Moon, mind, so dream state. So you are beyond these states or these supporting this, because he said in the earlier verse, Param Nidhanam, you are the support of these states. We get involved in the three states. We are totally involved in the waking, dream, and because even when we have a dream, we question, why did I dream like this? What was the meaning of that? What is going to happen to me now? I dreamt this. So we are always involved in these three things that are happening. Actually, we need to see the one who is supporting these three things, these three states, waking, dream, and deep sleep. Okay. Now he's going into, see, all this time it was very nice, because he was seeing all the gods and deities. Now the next part of this is the Ugra Roop, means the terrible roop. When he shows his terrible roop, then Arjun gets scared. Arjun is now quite happy to see all this. So we will stop here for now. Are there any questions? And the Ugra roop we'll discuss next time. We have discussed all the nice roop. Let's just stay with that in our mind, so we should also just imagine this thing. So next time we'll see the Ugra roop, and then the frightened Arjun. Then he begs him, please, Baba, enough. Let's come back to normal status. And then Bhagwan changes. Any questions? No? All clear? Very good. So I think we have announced, but everybody's aware of our Yajna and Hanuman Puja and everything. I don't know, Hirel, where are you? You are in Vancouver?
Yes, Hari Om. I am in Vancouver. I am attending this Sunday in-person class, and Nityaji told me about the Gita class as well. So I joined. Today's my first day, but thank you. This was
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. That's why I was wondering. Okay, good, good, good. So anyway, you have heard about our upcoming Yajna in April. So Swami Ishananji will be here from 15, 16, 17, 18. There will be 7 to 8 at the VHP. There'll be his lecture. Then on Sunday morning, there will be a puja, Hanuman puja. And we have a Mukhya Yajman, Chief Yajman, and then other Yajmans. And after that, followed by Priti Bhojan at the temple. And there is the Yajna sponsorship per day is $300, correct? And then for the puja, for the Mukhya Yajman, the sponsorship would be $1,000, where the Yajman would get to sit on the stage with Swamiji and do the puja, Hanuman puja. Then the other people, you can sponsor the puja for $250. So you will be sitting on the table, but not on the stage. And then Swamiji will be guiding the puja. And then, of course, anybody can come and attend because we'll be doing the chanting of the Hanuman Chalisa 7 times, and that's all free. And you can all, whoever is in Vancouver, of course, not out of town, but just so that you know. So please remember the dates, 15th April onwards. We are on the 15th of March. On the 22nd and 29th, this class will be there. And after that, the next class will be on 26th of April, this class, because I'm traveling. And right after I come back, Swamiji will be here that weekend. So 22 and 29, 2 more classes we have. We're probably not going to finish this chapter. If we finish, we finish. If not, if not. And then the next class will be April 26th. So after that, then we'll go into the discussion. Any questions? Om Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobrahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhinu Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Shobharahita Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarvesham Swasti Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avisheshyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Hari Om, everybody. Have a good weekend and we'll see you next week.